Our public education system must be led with the expertise and wisdom of the educators, the men and women who have dedicated their lives to America's students. Teachers and education support professionals must be instrumental in shaping not only their professional practice, but the development of education policy that actually supports student learning. Which is why, 2 years ago, the delegates at the 2013 Representative Assembly voted to develop the Great Public Schools Fund. The GPS Fund awards grants to affiliates with promising projects and ideas that strengthen and empower the education professions to impact student success. But this is more than just the funding of projects. This is an investment in people who use their expertise to develop and lead innovative ideas to create sustainable change that transforms public education, all with an emphasis on student-centered success through union-led efforts. We're just completing the first year of the program, and the results are pretty impressive. Here are just a few of our shining examples.
We were looking for a way to measure student learning without depending on achievement tests. Student learning objectives do that.
We did an event in Tooele, Utah, where we did an anti-bullying campaign. And we had over 400 ESP members, non-members, and we had community members that were showing up to go through because it's what's best for kids.
We've trained so far about 200 of our members, some administrators as well, to go out and do what they do best, and that's teach. It's a very exciting project, and it's really about our members taking back their profession.
We started our consortium.
This summit is an opportunity for individual states to come together, share best practices.
Each state is at a different level of implementation. But what I've learned is teachers are able to incorporate many of their responsibilities into the SLO process. It's kind of a way to tie all of these loose ends together as they work to improve student growth.
The student learning objective really is an opportunity for teachers to take a look at how they prepare and present information and how they get the understanding across to their students.
An SLO is more about a bigger idea, and so it's not teaching to one test or teaching to one time in the student's academic period with you. It's all year.
Student learning objectives become a part of your teaching practice. I mean, you hear teachers say it all the time, we're doing this anyway. Well, yes, that's what you're doing. You're now looking more intentionally at the instruction that you're doing and looking at the data and seeing the student grow.
Often education and the effectiveness of teachers, people want to measure it by a standardized test, and there's a lot of pushback, not because educators don't want to be accountable, it's because we don't want to be accountable for the wrong things or by the wrong metric.
The grant is helping us to train teams of teachers around student learning objectives, assessment literacy, and our next phase will be to roll out the supports for teachers in terms of professional development.
Last year, through the work that we did here, developed a curriculum and worked with our Department of Ed to create an SLO and trained 5,800 teachers.
We could not have accomplished what we've accomplished without this grant. This now has given us an opportunity to raise the bar. It's our responsibility to our students, it's our responsibility to our parents, and it's a responsibility we have to our profession to really and truly be able to target learning for students. Student learning objectives provide us with that opportunity.
Our membership was declining. We were struggling to find active leaders. I think we were losing sight of the member and the work we were trying to do. And what came about by luck, if you will, is NEA and their members decided that they wanted to focus more on student-centered outcomes. And in that came the GPS grants, and we saw ourselves possibly within that, and we applied for that grant, hoping that we would be able to get some traction and start to move our organization more positively.
I'm not just a paraprofessional, I'm not just a bus driver. Everyone in this group loves the students that they serve.
There's a lot of things that are different now than they were 10 years ago, but the training level and the things that are provided in that way have stayed the same or have actually decreased.
Professional development is a great avenue to recruit and promote the value of the association, because that's something that everyone can benefit from.
And so as an association working together, I think we can help supplement some of the things that have gone away over the years, and in turn increase our visibility in the schools and in the community.
A new anti-bullying campaign is being launched in the Tooele County School District.
We did an event in Tooele, Utah, where we did an anti-bullying campaign. And we had over 400 ESP members, non-members, and we had community members that were showing up to go through because it's what's best for kids.
We thought it was a great idea. Staff that are sensitive to those issues, whether they're our custodial staff or maintenance staff, there's no telling when and to whom a child is going to be safe disclosing that there's a safety issue.
It just opened up the avenue to show that we're not just there to do our jobs, we're there as an important role with the community, with the students.
We had to interact. One person was a student, one person was a bully, and come up with ideas on if a student needed our help, what would we say to them? I think that was a big impact on our people.
We're moving from a transactional organization to a transformational organization, and so we have to find individuals that are willing to participate in that team and cause change to happen. And I'm hoping that it'll increase exponentially to create this container that we're trying to build out of USEA that is something that newer members will want to be part of.
Our workshop today is on fostering collaborative conversations.
Today we attended the Common Core Cafe. It is part of the ILC, the Instructional Leadership Core. It is teacher-led professional development sessions.
I try to build a topic of interest for my students and build strategies and skills and tasks so that they all can engage.
What you're going to get from these workshops is you're going to enhance student achievement. You're really going to see how teachers target the needs of their students and how they funnel all that information so that each student has an individualized learning plan.
When I'm here and I'm presenting these materials to other teachers, I ask, have you guys used this in your classroom? And they'll come back and say, yeah, we use this, it worked. But I did this also. So then I get to learn as well from other teachers.
They're doing this work day in and day out. So I'm gonna listen a little bit more, my ears will perk up and get out that notebook and what ideas do they have, as opposed to, say, someone coming in from the outside.
Can you give me an example of what that would look like?
It was asking teachers to come together and what could we do to address these shifts across different grade levels and across the disciplines. More emphasis on the critical thinking. Our students learning how to be critical thinkers, how to analyze, how to interpret, how to evaluate, instead of front-loading them. And then you're just asking them to sort of give back that information on a test.
What consultants were doing and what publishing companies were doing was taking old stuff, slapping new covers on it, saying Common Core aligned, and then handing it over and expecting us to do that. Well, most teachers are smarter than that. For too long, people who didn't know what we do have been telling us what to do. And it was time that we took control of that. And the GPS money was a great help.
Each of you has a role to play.
How can we get our teachers to get those students to be high achievers and lifelong learners and ready for those 21st century skills? Really, it's to have teachers engage in that learning and really have them take the lead.
We are promoting leadership. We're promoting practices. So you are perfecting your profession in doing so.